All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're looking at what it really takes to protect your biggest asset from Brandon's absolutely brutal environment. If you live around this part of Florida, you know the weather here does not mess around. But we're going to pull back the curtain and look at exactly how this subtropical climate literally wages war on your home. And more importantly, we'll see how modern engineering fights back.
We've got a packed agenda today. We'll be covering the Brandon weather threat, why Florida roofs fail, hurricane-grade roofing standards, materials built to last, and finally, the road to replacement. Okay, Section 1, the Brandon weather threat. Let's look at Florida's extreme climate. 120. That is the magic, or honestly, kind of terrifying number here. Brandon falls directly within the Florida Building Code's Wind Zone 2. What that actually means is, by law, your roof has to be engineered to withstand a massive 120-mile-per-hour wind speed. Just picture that for a second. That's literally the sheer force of a major hurricane trying to lift the top right off your house. But, it's not actually just the big storms that are the problem here.
It's this relentless, four-pronged attack on your home. Seriously, Brandon roofs are put through more extreme conditions in a single year than roofs in most other states face in an entire decade. First, you've got those severe afternoon thunderstorms dumping heavy rain in incredibly concentrated bursts, which instantly tests every single weak point. Then, you have the tropical storms bringing wind-driven rain. But get this, even on a perfectly sunny day, intense UV exposure is actively degrading your materials, all while that famous high humidity is creating the perfect breeding ground for problems.
Moving right along to Section 2, why Florida roofs fail. It really is a chain of destruction.
You see, a roof failure doesn't just happen overnight. It's really a systematic structural breakdown. Step 1, those intense Florida UV rays literally wash away the protective granules right off your shingles. Step 2, once those granules are gone, the raw underlying asphalt is completely exposed. It just sits there, baking and deteriorating rapidly under the scorching sun. And step 3, think about the rapid temperature swings. You've got cool, air-conditioned interiors sitting directly below 95-degree attics. That extreme temperature difference causes constant expansion and contraction, which actually physically loosens the structural fasteners over time. It's wild.
And what's totally fascinating is how hyperlocal factors accelerate this decay even further. For instance, just being close to the Hillsborough River means higher ambient humidity levels. That aggressively promotes the growth of black algae, which basically eats away at your shingles. Or take neighborhoods like Bloomingdale. Those beautiful massive oak trees, well, they drop debris that just sits there, trapping moisture directly against the shingles and rotting them out. Your roof is literally fighting its own neighborhood.
So what's the fix? That brings us to Section 3, hurricane-grade roofing standards. We're talking Miami-Dade quality.
Now, the standard building code is really just a baseline, but companies like Crestline Roofing elevate their defenses by actually utilizing the Miami-Dade County wind load standard. This standard significantly exceeds the minimum requirements for Hillsborough County. It's an elite defense system explicitly designed to hold strong during the absolute worst tropical storms. Because, let's be real, why aim for the bare minimum when you can aim for maximum resilience, right?
Now, I absolutely love this next detail because it busts a massive myth. Ice and water shields are usually thought of as something you only ever need up north for winter weather, right? Well, actually, scratch that. This specialized underlayment is essential right here in Brandon. Why? Well, because while you might not get ice dams, you definitely get sideways, wind-driven rain during those tropical storms. This shield is installed directly in the valleys and eaves to provide redundant waterproofing, basically blocking the water when the wind inevitably tries to push it up and under your shingles.
When you compare a basic two-coat installation to a true hurricane-grade one, the difference is literal grounding. A standard installation might just use regular old nails, but a hurricane-grade installation, it utilizes ring-shank nails. These aren't just hammered into the thin roof decking. Oh no, they are driven directly through the decking and deep into the home's solid wooden trusses. Combine that with high-wind rated shingles that feature enhanced adhesive strips, and your roof goes from just sitting on top of your house to being a fully integrated structural component of it.
All right, Section 4, materials built to last. Let's talk about choosing the right roof.
Let's objectively compare your best options here. First up, we have asphalt. Now, in Brandon, standard asphalt just won't cut it. You've got to go with architectural shingles with algae-resistant granules. You can expect a solid 15 to 20-year lifespan with those. Next, metal roofing. This is a total powerhouse. It lasts 40 to 70 years, reflects the intense Florida heat to seriously lower your cooling bills, and uses standing seam interlocking panels for incredible wind resistance. And finally, tile. whether that's Spanish or concrete. Tile lasts 50+ years, handles high winds brilliantly, and naturally resists fire. It is super heavy though, so your home absolutely needs the proper structural support before it can even be installed. And it's absolutely crucial to note that avoiding unpermitted work isn't just about, checking boxes and following the rules. It fundamentally protects you. If a contractor ever tries to skip pulling those Hillsborough County permits, run the other way. Unpermitted work can literally lead to immediate insurance claim denials if a storm hits, and it creates massive legal and resale disasters when you eventually try to sell your home. Passing those strict Florida Building Code inspections ensures your investment is legally sound and structurally bulletproof.
Let's dive into our final section, Section 5, the road to replacement. We'll look at the actual installation process.
From that very first emergency call all the way to completion, professionals typically handle this massive project over the course of just 3 to 5 days. It always starts with an in-depth inspection. And this is key. It absolutely must include checking your attic. You can't just look at the top, you have to look underneath for hidden water stains and ventilation issues. Then comes that permitting process we just talked about. Once approved, the tear-off removes everything, all the way down to the bare wooden decking to check for rot. That's followed by the installation of the underlayment, the actual shingles or tiles, the flashing, and finally, a thorough walkthrough.
But a true professional installation doesn't just protect your roof, it protects the rest of your property too. We're talking plywood walkways laid out to protect your grass, tarped landscaping so your beautiful foundation plants aren't totally crushed by falling debris, and wrapping the whole shebang up with a magnetic roller sweep. That last detail? It's literally crucial to make sure zero hazardous roofing nails are left hiding in your yard or your driveway, just waiting to pop your car tires. So, I want to leave you with this provocative thought to consider. We've just seen exactly what the Brandon climate is doing to your house day in and day out. The granule loss, the extreme heat expansion, the massive wind uplift. So, when was the last time you actually looked closely at the roof protecting your home? Don't wait for a water stain to suddenly appear on your ceiling to find out. Take a good look before that next afternoon thunderstorm rolls in. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.